Hello and welcome to Darling Straight Over for this round 6 encounter. Hamilton Olympic have had the wood over Broadmeadow ever since Peter Haynes' extraordinary volley dipped over Brad Swancott's head back in 2013 to give Magic a 6-5 victory. Since then, Magic have only scored 2 goals in their last 4 matches against their rivals Olympic, and Olympic have won 4 of the last 5 clashes against Magic. So it's going to be a cracking battle. Now, during the week, Pete Jolly went out and did some interviews. The first one was with Con from Hamilton Olympic, so we're going to have a look at that now.
Hi, my name's Con Goonis. I'm Secretary of Hamilton Olympic Football Club. I've been Secretary for 35 years. The club first began in 1976. It was just a lot of friends that used to have a kick around. Australians of Greek origin used to have a muck around game at the park, and a couple of the guys suggested let's start a club. Why don't we start our own club? So the club first began in 1976 April. It was the first competition match. It was against South Wallsend. So for a lot of the years we were in the lower divisions. Players came and went. It was just more of a social thing. It was basically a senior club. We didn't have any juniors. Slowly the club, in the middle of the late 80s, the club started having a little bit of vision of trying to progress through the grades. We were fortunate to get a coach called Terry Robson, who coached the club for 5 years, and that was when we had our biggest success. From 1989 we won 4th Division, 1990 we won 3rd Division, 1991 we won 2nd Division, and we were promoted in 1992. It was then called the 1st Division, and it was the NBN State League. During those years we've had a lot of great players come through the club. In the early days, probably Bruce Morrow was notably the most well-known international. He played in the 1956 Olympics for Australia as a Socceroo, and he coached the club in 1978, 1979 and 1980. Since then, we were fortunate to have Joe Sankowski play with the club for approximately 3 years in those lower division years. He was great for the club. Since 1992, we've had a lot of great players come through the club. The club legend was Matthew Austin. Matthew played for 18 years and only recently retired in 2012. Matthew Bingley's played with the club. Trent Austin, Doug West, Corey Filipsevic, great players of the 1990s and the 2000s. We're very fortunate to have Greg Smith coached the club for 10 years, which is quite a long time for anyone to coach a club. Greg coached from 1996 to 2005, and that was the Smithy era. We won those 4 grand finals with Greg. Since the new NPL's come along, the PS4 National Premier League competition, we've done quite well. Minor premiership in 2012. We've had our current coach Michael Bolch. This is his 7th year. And up to this stage we're going quite well, and this year we're in first place at the moment, and of course we've got our big derby match this coming Sunday.
Big derby, big crowd. How will you beat your opposition?
Oh look, they're a quality team, both got quality players, both the teams are strong. It's just going to be on the day who performs better. I believe it's going to be a fine day, and I suspect we'll have quite a large crowd, and they always bring out the best in both teams. We've had a lot of great derby matches with Broadmeadow over the last probably decade. So look, I expect a tough game, but obviously whoever takes their chances, I think it'll probably boil down to whoever takes their chances will be victorious on the day. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. Should be a good day for football in the north.
Well, you spoke about that derby between the neighbouring suburbs, I guess. Has it always been there from the beginning, or has it developed quite fiercely over the latter stages of your development?
Oh look, the clubs first began about the same year, but they both first began about the 1970s, so a lot of years we were in different divisions. Broadmeadow's been very successful, as we have been, so neighbouring clubs, it's been a good rivalry over a lot of years. I think it's about 1-1 in grand finals. We beat them in the 1998 grand final, and they beat us in the 2012 grand final. So it's 1-1 in the grand finals. But look, competitive matches, and I'm sure some good football will be played on the day.
Hey, what would you say to your fans over the years? They've stuck right behind the club, haven't they?
Yeah, look, we're very fortunate. We've got a lot of good supporters, got a lot of terrific sponsors, which really in these current days you need sponsors. We've got Politis Investment, Red Funnel, the Premier Hotel, PRD nationwide, PRD Newcastle, sorry. So we've got a lot of good sponsors, and the fans, they stick by us. You know, you have your tough years. As you know, sport's a cyclic thing. You have your good era and your a tougher era. But we've been fortunate. We have a lot of good supporters, and hopefully they'll all be out there on Sunday to watch the big match.
Been a real good team performance, and you know it's showed over the last few games.
Let's have a chat about your opposition. Of course, you played Broadmeadow Magic.
Yep.
Top of the table clash, one might say, on Sunday.
Sure.
Goals win matches, but I guess there's tactics come Sunday.
Yeah, I think our main priority will be to snuff out their attack. I think they have the best attack in the league so far. So that's going to be my priority, to organise the back line, to make sure that we don't concede any goals. And then we can build on that. And then hopefully we can feed good balls into the midfield and strikers, and then we can put them under pressure. The
rivalry, talk to us about that. It's intense.
It's bloody intense. Being an Olympic junior, I've kind of been brought up with it, so I know how important these games are. They're always hard fought, It's a team that turns up on the day and ready for that battle, and I'm looking forward to it as usual.
They bring a big crowd with them as well, so this place should be jam-packed Sunday.
Yeah, that's the plan. It's on a Sunday, so hopefully everyone has nothing else to do and comes down and watches a good game. Can't wait to see how packed it really is. It does get busy with the red and blue in the crowd, so hopefully there's more blue though.
So that's the plan off the field. What's the plan on the field?
To win, obviously. Keep up our winning ways. You can see the boys are very ready for these, and we're just looking forward to it. Just win really.
Training's been good?
Yeah, training's been really intense this week. We've gone back to our Tuesday, Thursday, and everyone, 3 days gap between games. Between training and the game. So that's good. Have you identified where you could win this match? Any particular player you've targeted for the opposition? Not really. Obviously, they got pace up front. That's a given with Broadmeadow. They've got quality, and with Hainsey behind. I think we've just got to turn up ready. We use our strengths, they use their strengths, and it should be a good game. Hopefully, we prevail a little bit.
So hello and welcome back here to Darling Street Oval, the derby on this afternoon. Hamilton Olympic taking on Broadmeadow Magic. With me in commentary, we've got former Maitland and Lake Macquarie coach Chris Turner and former Broadmeadow Magic coach Damien Smith. Now, firstly to you, Chris, are you feeling another Olympic and be Magic special?
Yeah, I think so. This game's got all the makings for what everyone's hoping for. Pitch is good, weather's great, and we've got two teams in really good form, and both sides are obviously looking for a win, so it's going to be very exciting today.
Damien, what about you? What are your thoughts on this afternoon's clash? Two sides that are probably in the best form they've been in a couple of years.
Exactly, Ben. Like I said, it's a top-of-the-table clash here, and both sides are desperate for points to keep on top of the ladder. I know Magic's only 2 points behind Olympic, so a win today will just leapfrog Olympic. However, these games are very passionate, so it's passionate for the players and passionate for the supporters. So looking forward to it.
Now, just going through where these two sides sit on the ladder, Hamilton in first at the moment, even though Edgeworth did win yesterday against Valentine 4-0. Big scoreline out there. Hamilton just shading Edgeworth. They're on 13 points each, but Hamilton with a better goal difference. Broadmeadow Magic in third. They were in second before Edgeworth's win yesterday. Now, there is a massive gap appearing in the ladder at the moment between the top 5 and the bottom 5. Charlestown are on 11 points. Charlestown are in 5th on 11 and Valentine are in 6th on 4 points. So a big gap really starting to appear, Chris. Is that a worry?
I think if you're at the bottom end of the table, what you're going to be looking at is getting some points and getting in quickly, because otherwise the season gets away on you too quickly. And with these teams, at the top end of the table, someone, is going to drop points today. So if you're at the bottom end and you're playing today, you'll be thinking, all right, we need to get some points so we can stay in touch.
Now, last week, Hamilton beat Edgeworth 3-2. You could sort of call it a bit of an upset after Edgeworth being the premiers last year, beating them in the grand final. And last week, Magic beat the Jets 4-1 at Magic Park. Now, Chris, Magic have not had a very good record against Hamilton. They've scored 2 goals in their last 4 matches, and they haven't beaten them since Peter Haynes scored that stunning volley here at Magic Park in 2013. Why do you think that is?
These games here, you can almost compare this to a grand final type situation where everything will go on the line. You watch it'll come out early, they'll be nice and structured, they'll be pushing the ball around, but it won't be too long before the guys start to roll their sleeves up. you can say every time when Hamilton play against Broadmeadow, and Damien will reaffirm this, it's going to be a game where you put everything on the line, and there's a lot of pride in the two clubs. So what they're going to do is these guys at the end of the game, they've got their whole communities riding behind them. You agree with that, Damien?
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Chris. Having been involved with Magic for 10 years, these games are the ones you pencil in at the start of the year. These are the games which determine who's going to be on top throughout the year. However, like Chris said, every game, Magic versus Olympics, like a grand final of these players, because it means so much to the players as well as the supporters.
Well, last year, the only game we did on Bar TV where Hamilton played Broadmeadow was in round 10. Hamilton won 2-0 that day. They also played in round 1. It was a 0-0 draw. So the matches last year probably didn't reach the heights of what they have in the past. So hopefully this afternoon you just got that feeling, haven't you, that this match is going to be something special?
It sure is. And just quickly while we're on there's a very quick apology from Michael Bolch. He's a little bit late today. He's been at the hairdresser's.
I'm sure the hairdresser did a lot of work on Bolchy.
It's giving him a good polish. Look at it.
So the two sides about to take the field this afternoon. Rob Digby is the referee. What do you two know about Rob Digby? I know you've been in the coach's dugout, so you've probably said some choice words to him, but what are your thoughts on Rob as the referee this afternoon?
Ben, he's been around for quite a few years now, and actually I've been away to the Masters Games with him when he's been reffing, I think slightly hungover. But he's a good ref. He lets the flow of the play continue, and I can't see many cards being in this game. However, I can see it being a very physical and intense battle. I think games like this, you think the team with the most possession will come out on top, but I don't know about today. I think it's going to be the one who does the least amount of mistakes, especially in the back when they're playing out.
Now, the two sides have played 52 times over the years. Olympic 23, Magic 20 wins and drawn 9. So it's sort of a state of origin style rivalry, this one. Very, very even in terms of matches won by both sides. Here at Darling Street, it's even tighter. Olympic have won 11, Magic 10, and 5 draws from the 26 matches that they've played. The biggest win here at Darling Street for Olympic was 4-0. That was back in 1996. And for Magic, their biggest win here was 2-0 in 1997, 2009, and 2011. So some big results. Tommy Spencer, he scored the winner last week. He's going to kick off with Kane Goodchild. Jacob Bailey up there as well for Hamilton. And those earlier results, as I hear the Hamilton chant going up in the dressing rooms. Hamilton got up in the 22s 2-1, and Magic got up in the 19s 2-0. So they've split results in the matches previously, and it looks like we've got an issue with the ball. Ball's not got it. The ball hasn't got enough pressure in it. So Tommy Spencer is checking it out again.
Just talking about Andrew Digby. Or Diggers, it is Andrew, isn't it? Diggers is...
Rob or Andrew? I'm not, Andrew.
So Diggers
Sorry,
has
I've
been
got him, Rob.
a referee that's been looking to improve himself. And he's often asked coaches at the end of the game about his performance, what they think. And that's probably why he's where he's at today.
So Magic on the ball through Peter Haynes in their red and gold numbers on the back, and Olympic in their traditional blue and white this afternoon. Here's Vigili down the right, going down in the box early. And winning an early corner for Magic. Just 25 seconds in and already a corner for Broadmeadow Magic. Broadmeadow from left to right. Olympic right to left this afternoon in the first half. Vigili brings it back to Kanorowski. Kanorowski in towards the middle. Reese Cooper. It's right under that one. Ball headed down towards Danny Ireland, who made a good save there, but it was an offside anyway. And he will have an early free kick. He was very impressive, I heard, in the match against Edgeworth last week, Danny Ireland.
He's been one of the standout goalkeepers in the competition for the last few years since he came back from the UK. So he's obviously going to play a very important part in this game today. Just interesting. It's going to be interesting, a matchup between James Vigili and Swan at left fullback. Both got pace, so it'll be interesting to see how Swan combats Vigili's pace.
Here's Jacob Bailey on the ball. Well, I was speaking to Damien Zane about that match that they played against Hamilton last week, and he thinks Danny Ireland's he's the best, if not the best, keeper that has played in the Northern New South Wales NPL.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big statement. It depends how far you go back, because there's been some great goalkeepers over the years, hasn't there, Damo?
Dean Conway.
Yeah, John Russell, West Walls End. There's been some great keepers. Steve Dorman, sorry. There's been some wonderful keepers that have like really good high talent. But yes, certainly Ireland is
Here's Vigili in, and Kyle Hodges does well from Peter Haynes.
Yeah, Ireland's definitely a great keeper. He's standout. And you know what? Nick Hartnett's down the other end down here, and Nick goes very, very well as well. He's not the tallest keeper. He hasn't got the height of Ireland, but, he's very agile. He's got great hands, and he's got a good understanding of the game. So, got two good keepers in today.
Well, it's going to be James Vigili from this right corner again. He got right under that one. Goes towards the back post. Doing the clean-up work, Shane Paul. He plays it back to Kanarowski. Under pressure from Bertos. Brings it back to Jaden Barber. Plays it to Peter Haynes. Over the top. Looking for Vigili, but Hamilton do well in defence. Best defence in the competition, Hamilton. 3 goals conceded in their opening 5 matches. Though Magic's defence has been pretty good as well. Only 5 goals conceded from their opening 5 as well. Here is Kanarowski trying to find Finlayson over the top. Danny Ireland still checking out that right leg. May have heard in the opening minutes. This ball wide towards Bertos, and Luke Vigili intercepts. Cale Bradbury couldn't keep it in there.
I know it's early days, but Lambton just look a little bit flat at the moment. Magic has kept them in there for the first 5 minutes. So it's good.
Hamilton?
Hamilton, sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. One's yellow and the other one's blue. Okay, all right. Sorry, you just knew this.
Here's Swan going down. It's all right, Damien, we'll forgive you. Yeah. we had Lambton last time. Lambton versus Broadmeadow. That was the last game. Damien was with us here on Bar TV. A 2-1 win for Magic that evening. Good contest, that one. As here is Daniel Bird. Back to Matt Swan. Back with Bird again. Scored the first goal against Edgeworth last week. Still Bird. Plays it in towards Goodchild and Josh. As the ball goes through to Davies. And Cale Bradbury. Good tackle from him. Cale Bradbury and Tom Davies over there. And the free kick goes Hamilton's way. So Danny Ireland with the free kick. So now the ball over with Griffiths for Broadmeadow Magic. Back to Barber. And now Josh Piddington. Ben Higgins still out injured. I wasn't 100% sure how long he was out for. Did you know how long he was out for, Damien?
Yeah, Ben, I spoke to Ben before the game. He's out for another 4 weeks.
So here's a ball over the top for Tommy Spencer. And Piddington doing the clean-up work. It's going to be a big blow for Broadmeadow not having Ben Higgins in the side.
Yes, definitely. Ben's got great distribution from the back. He's got height for headers. However, you've got Josh Newton, John Griffith in the centre of the back for Broadmeadow, who have been outstanding players for Broadmeadow.
Here's Leo Bertos in towards the middle, looking for Kane Goodchild, but John Griffiths gets there with a header. And Reece Cooper comes away with Hamilton. Reece Cooper with a stunning goal against Western a couple of weeks ago in Hamilton's 4-1, I should say, 4-0 when it was that night. Dominant display. Here's Kanarowski. Over the top and looking for Cale Bradbury. Unable to run it down, and Tom Davies is there. Cale Bradbury already 5 goals this year after the Golden Boot last year. Vigili now over the top, and Kyle Hodges runs that one down inside the 18. Back to Danny Ireland, who clears it away for Hamilton. Goodchild, a nice ball to Spencer. And now Nick Hartnett on the ball. And now the ball almost through for Vigili. James Vigili trying to get around Hodges. James Vigili finishes for Broadmeadow. And the Magic fans go up in front of us And magically 1-0 after just 6.5.
So he's very dangerous in those positions, isn't he? He gets great ball control. His close ball control's great. Half an opportunity and a great finish there to slot it in.
It was very tenacious then. Very tenacious, James Vigili. That's what I said early in the match. Interesting match-up between Vigili and Swan at left fullback. And Vigili's pace just got past Swan and Kyle Hodges, and it was a great finish. It was well composed, finished.
And Danny Ireland just getting some treatment on the edge of the 18 with that right leg. He's got a little bit of an injury, but it was just Kyle Hodges. He just had too much strength for Kyle Hodges there, James Vigili, which is surprising given his stature, but easily got around. I shouldn't say easily, but it was a...
It's very well balanced, and he's got that, even though he's kind of swaying side to side, he's got that balance to be able to do that and just get a foot on it when it matters.
And that's when you say the 50 A-League appearances for the Jets. There's your experience there.
Well, first goal for Magic against Olympic since 2014, I should say. Since 2014 last year, Olympic 2-0 and 0-all the scoreline. So
this is
been a long time between drinks.
Yeah, sure has been. It's going to give Olympic a bit of a rattle up here because there's a good crowd in here. They know what it means to their clubs and they know what it means to each other. And this game's a long way from over.
Back to Tom Davies. Do you guys think Hamilton's just come out a little bit flat?
Yeah, I said that in the first few minutes. I thought they just came out a little bit flat. I thought Magic were first to the ball, knocking the ball around okay in the first 5 minutes. But look.
Here's Finlayson looking through for Vigili again. Danny Ireland. Now Damien, this is the interesting thing. You know, Hamilton got right up for that match against Edgeworth last week. It's tough to get up like that for two big matches 2 weeks in a row, isn't it?
Agree and disagree. I think any match between Magic and Olympic, it's a cross-town rivals. It's your local derby. And I think, like, if you can't get up for a Magic versus Olympic game, there's something wrong. But
here is Barber back to Vigili. Still James Vigili, lovely skill. Kyle Hodges coming in from behind, but no foul. It's another corner for Magic, but that would have taken a lot of energy out of them, that last match against Edgeworth. But they've got a big break. They had a week and a couple of days, so no excuses for Olympic.
Look, one of the big things in your top four teams is you've got to be able to perform every week, and Damien will know this, and you just almost got to let it go by Tuesday, let go what's happened on the weekend and get focused and set for what's coming up this week. And if you can do that, and the top teams can do it week after week, they're the teams that are going to be there at the end.
Here's Peter Haynes going back to Shane Paul, who was looking for Finlayson. Now it sits up for Vigili, who shoots, slices that one to the right. But it's been all Magic in the opening 9.5 minutes.
Yeah, but Ben, there's still a long way to go in this game. I think Olympic will start to pep up very soon. Magic, like I said, they've come out with the house on fire. They're putting a lot of pressure on Olympic and Olympic's defence. They're causing turnover. And like I said, Olympic's only been down Magic's end a few times.
Yeah, and sometimes it's the worst thing you can do is score against them early because it just gives them a shake-up. Oh, there's a high foot.
Bailey getting his head down. Shane Paul with the high foot. So the free kick for Hamilton now. But Hamilton, even though Magic had probably had the better of the chances, they were down here a moment ago. Daniel Bird got through. Here's a ball wide for Tom Davies. Still Tom Davies on the ball. Luke Vigili putting the pressure on him.
Yeah, I think in a game like this, the team who has possession or the team who's on top doesn't necessarily win because it's such a small pitch. So opportunities always arise.
Here's Spencer Burtos playing a lovely ball to Jacob Bailey. Cleared away, Jacob Bailey. 13 goals in his time at Hamilton. Last season he scored 7 of those. Hasn't got on the board in 2016 just yet. As Leo Burtos has fouled. Burtos back to Davies. Knocking up the ground, Cody Lucas, who's playing at the back with Kyle Hodges. Grant Brown out of the side for today's clash. And Marcus Duncan, of course, headed to Victoria. So he's only played a few matches for Hamilton before heading down south. Tom Davies now with the throw for Hamilton Olympic. 3 other matches also going on this afternoon, so we'll try and bring you the scores from those ones. Here's Reece Cooper. Going to slide inside Josh Piddington. Knocks it up to Peter Haynes with some space. Peter Haynes, he plays it wide to James Vigili. Still James Vigili. Plays it in towards the middle, looking for Cale Bradbury. Matt Swan's the saviour on that occasion. But on the break, they are lightning, aren't they, Broadmeadow?
If you notice, that's 3 times they've picked the ball up in midfield and sprayed it either left or right for a quick, long pass, which has caused Olympic a few problems.
Just an offside down in the corner from Broadmeadow, so Hamilton with the free kick. But Peter Haynes just ball on a string there to James Virgili. Beautiful ball.
Magic are playing 2 high-wide players with Peter Haynes playing like a false 9 in the middle of the park, so he can just come between the lines, turn and pick his wide players out.
Yeah, and on the flip side of that, Hamilton are playing a 4 at the back, 2 holding midfielders, 3 and then 1 up top, which is goody.
Here's Danny Ireland up towards the halfway line. Kane Goodchild, Leo Bertos now. And now Tom Davies. So the derby just 12.5 minutes old, and it was James Virgili that got the scoring underway. 7 minutes into the match, Mike Finlayson just couldn't find his target on that occasion, and it'll be a goal kick for Danny Ireland.
What I like about Magic at the moment, they're getting the ball and they're looking forward nice and early. And the 2 wide block players in Bradbury and Virgili are breaking nice and early. It's going to cause Olympic a bit of problem today, I think.
We've spoken about the value of Goodchild before, playing single up front. What Olympic are going to want to do is get the ball into him as often as they can, because they've got 3 support players in immediately behind, 2 holding midfielders, and both fullbacks to be able to have the ability to get down in wide positions. So the ball into him as much as they can as the game progresses is important. It just hasn't happened too much just yet, as he's just about on the ball.
Yeah, I agree with you, Chris. He's getting a bit isolated up there at the moment, but there's still a long way to go, and Olympic's got a lot of time to get back into this game.
Now the ball back with Cody Lucas. Yeah, Kane Goodchild. We spoke about Cale Bradbury scoring plenty this year. Kane Goodchild's been equally as good with 5 goals already in the opening 5 matches. As here's Jacob Bailey now for Hamilton with some space. Looks for Goodchild. John Griffiths gets across. Now sits up for Tommy Spencer. Well, he had Daniel Bird unmarked. Spence hits it again. And Nick Hartner makes the save. But Daniel Bird was unmarked to the back post, Chris.
Yeah, he sure was. What a great opportunity and good composure there on the strike on goal. Nick Hartnett, we were talking about his agility before. We just saw it right then.
But Kane Goodchild winning the ball in the box was immense, I thought.
Yeah, and that's what we're talking about. They need to get the ball into him as much as we can. They can.
Here's Bertos in towards the middle. Headed away now. Cody Lucas on the ball for Olympic. Plays it to Bailey. Very congested in the middle of the park on that occasion there. Both sides. Now Reece Cooper. Goes across to Matt Swan. Matt Swan back to Leo Bertos. In towards Goodchild. It goes down in the box.
That's a great battle up there, Pennington versus Goodchild.
Yeah, it will be a battle too. I was talking to Bolchi last night before he had his hair done, and he said that Goodchild's probably only about 60%. Not sure if Goody would agree with that or not, but if that's the case, and he's still scoring goals, so hopefully we'll see a bit more of him on the ball, and that contest evolve out between him and Piddington.
As here's Hodges cleared away. And now back for Tom Davies. Virgili trying to knock it over the top towards Haynes.
I've just noticed Olympic made a tactical change here. They've moved Swan to the right fullback and Tommy Davies to the left fullback, probably to combat Virgili's pace, because Virgili is causing him havoc out here on the left.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it's about, because if you don't, Swanee might be a fraction under the pace of what Virgili's got, and you don't want it to turn into a carve-up.
Here's Leo Bertos in towards the middle looking for Spencer. Daniel Bird again unmarked. He hits the shot, and Nick Hartner with an awesome save, and he's pumped.
Yeah, another great save from Nick, and this is what he's best at. You know, he's, like I said, he's not the tallest keeper in the world, but he can put himself in good positions as he did just then.
And Olympic are slowly playing themselves into this game, Ben.
Daniel Bird again showing his worth. Here is Bird again playing it in. Scored the first goal last week, as I said, against Edgeworth. He scored 2 last season for Charlestown in his 15 matches. But already in this quality Olympic lineup, he's showing his worth in 2016.
Crucial tackle there from Swan onto Virgili, because if he lets him go, it's like an intentional foul that he's done there. If he lets him go, it could be goal time. Now the players have got it set in behind them. They've reset themselves in a comfortable defending position.
First game for Nick Harton. I shouldn't say first game, first year for Nick Hartnett at Broadmeadow Magic. And what a save that was. How much confidence that's going to give the young 20-year-old.
Look, he's had a lot of training from Clint Gosling, and Goose has said time and time again about the ability of this footballer, and we're seeing it right now. And he puts a lot of training, a lot of effort into it. Puts a whole committed lifestyle into being where he is today.
Yeah, talking to Rob Virgili and Bobby Newmoff, they've been very pleased with Nick's contribution this year so far.
Here's Bradbury playing it across, looking towards Virgili, but couldn't find him over the byline for a goal kick for Danny Ireland.
Yeah, I've noticed Olympics just started to lift the intensity, so a bit of a flat start, but they're starting to come right into this game right now.
Ball wide now for Cody Lucas. Bertos. Now Matt Swan looking back for Bertos. And Shane Paul over the sideline. Throw for Hamilton. Kane Goodchild holding it up, as he always does for Hamilton. Almost 18 minutes gone here on Bar TV. Great to have your company. It's the round 6 match of the round. Broadmeadow up against Hamilton. Brought to you by Top Better, Bar TV's major broadcast partner for the winter season of sport. Get in the game with Top Better, so it's great to have them on board. Here's Jaden Barber. He goes to Haynes. Haynes knocking it over the top, looking towards Virgili. It finds Finlayson, and Finlayson can't control that. Probably a bit of miscommunication there between him and Virgili. And it'll run down just for a goal kick.
If you look at Magic's patterns of play, Haynes is coming and get the ball, and Finlayson's making that forward run into that space in between the two defenders. That nearly paid off for Magic just then.
Yeah, and looking at Haynes' position there, he got himself into a great angle. He thought 2 moves in front of that play to get that ball through, and that's where he's really dangerous.
Just those other scores at the moment. Charlestown and Western at 0-0. Lambton and Maitland at 0-0, and the Jets and Adamstown at 0-0 after 15 minutes. So the only goal of the afternoon here at Magic Park this afternoon. Danny Ireland gets right under that one, knocking it up the ground. Interestingly, Peter Haynes, I didn't know this before I read this stat, played 2 seasons at Olympic, 2003 and 2004, 31 games, 17 goals. He scored 1 goal against Magic back in 2004.
Yeah, and I think after that, I tried to poach him for 2 years till I finally got him in 2005, I think. So
you were the man, Damien. You were the man that brought Peter Haynes over to Broadmeadow Magic.
Yeah, I got assistance from Johnny Bennett, his best mate as well. So he was playing at Magic at the time. So yeah, he's been an integral part of Broadmeadow Magic for the last 10 or so years.
Peter Haynes calmly goes back to John Griffiths. Now wide looking for James Virgili, but Tom Davies, as Damien said a moment ago, has moved from the right-hand side to the left to D with Virgili. This is Tom Davies' last game, I understand, for Hamilton this season. He's going travelling overseas, so only available for the first 6 matches. As Bertos cuts inside the 18-yard box inside, Virgili cuts it back towards Goodchild. Bird on the volley, blocked by Jaden Barber. But Daniel Bird's creating all sorts of problems for the Magic defence, and now Virgili gets around Davies, and Davies says, come back and I'll nick it off you, and he does a great job, Tom Davies, there.
It's his second nutmeg for the game, young Chile.
It's the second youngest to debut for Olympic, Tom Davies, back in 2013.
I think Bolcher's made a great move putting Tommy Davies on James Virgili out here. He's got aggression, he's got pace. I think he could combat James a little bit in the second half.
And
he's
still
first half.
Yeah, and he's going to be a massive loss after this match for Olympic Tom Davies going overseas.
Yeah, look, he's only 18 years old. Bolchi said he's got next week as well.
Yep.
Unless he was telling me a furphy, I don't think so. But
No,
18 years
sense,
old,
yep.
18 years old, and you're competing against someone of the experience of Virgili. He's doing so far so good.
Here's Bird, plays it wide to Tom Davies.
Completely agree with you, Damien. It was a great decision by Bolchi to put him in that position.
He's good shot. Well, that's a fair enough free kick. John Griffiths all over him there. And a good spot now. Simon Mooney isn't out there, so I'm thinking it's going to be Leo Bertos that's going to kind of come across and take this one for Olympic.
Kane Goodchild was immense then, holding the ball up. That's where he's dangerous, round the box. He knows where the goals are, where to score, and also he knows how to use his body. So I think Kane's really going to come into his own later in this game.
Well, here's Leo Bertos. Nick Hartnett organising his wall, 5-man wall. Tommy Spencer trying to break it up. Here is Bertos. Moves in, hits it straight to Nick Hartnett. Hartnett out to Griffiths. To Kanarowski now. Plays it fortuitously off Reece Cooper's leg, and Bird with a bit of a shove here on Jaden Barber. Free kick goes Magic's way.
Unfortunately, Diggers didn't let the play on go there. However, he's still having a great game in the first 20 minutes, the referee.
It's always good when you don't hear from the referees, to be honest. If they're, if he's just out there doing his thing and you don't notice him, then he's doing a good job.
Here's Piddington, one of the most experienced Magic players in excess of 200 matches for Broadmeadow. Here's the ball to Vigili. Inside Hodges again, taken down, and Kyle Hodges is the first man into the book this afternoon. A yellow card to Hamilton's captain.
Yeah, back on Josh Pennington. He's played 200 games for Broadmeadow, and been at the club for, I think, about 10 years. And 6 of those years he's been player of the season for Broadmeadow Magic. So he's been immense for Broadmeadow since day dot.
Look, they're just strong all through the park. You can see what they've got at the back there. Their goalkeeper's obviously great. Middle of the park, strong, and look what they've got up front.
Here's Peter Haynes playing it in towards Finlayson. Tommy Spencer just getting there in time.
That was a great header by Tommy Spence. Oh, sorry, Ben. That was a great header by Tommy Spence. A lot of pressure on him going backwards.
He's going to be a big player for Hamilton as well this year. Played for Northern Tigers and Blacktown Spartans in his past, Tommy Spencer. So a great find for Mick Bulch. Piddington making a run towards the back post. Couldn't quite get there. Shane Paul also there. Bradbury back to Shane Paul. Tom Davies playing it up towards Leo Bertos, but Kanarowski's there to do the interception. Shane Paul, Kyle Hodges again. There to head it away. And now Shane Paul. Davies couldn't deal with it, and now Bird does well. Reece Cooper. We know he's got plenty of pace, Reece Cooper, and Goodchild plays it back to Cooper. They're playing advantage after Goodchild got cleaned up. Here's Cooper. Still Cooper. He's got Bertos with him, and his pass just evades him. Bailey and Barber come together. And now Shane Paul brings it across to James Vigili. Still James Vigili on the ball for Broadmeadow. He's got Haynes with him. Plays it to Peter Haynes. And Kyle Hodges again there for Hamilton. He's doing a great job at the back, Kyle Hodges.
He sure is. He's got a yellow card, but he needs to be careful because he's got strike power running time and time again. So he's got to be careful that he doesn't make a wrong tackle at the wrong time, Damien, because if he does, another yellow and it's all over.
Yeah, I agree. I think Olympic need to watch out. Like, they're pushing forward in numbers then, and then all of a sudden they lose the ball, and then they got caught out.
Matt Swan with the header away.
I think James, I know he played the ball to Peter Haynes then, but I think he should have dragged it inside. Then he would have been one-on-one with Ireland. But still a good chance for Magic.
Here's Cale Bradbury. A handball against Jacob Bailey, I thought there, but it was on the edge of the 18. So Andrew Digby gives the free kick just on the edge of the 18-yard box.
While this is getting set up, I agree with what you're saying, Damien, because you had Reece Cooper involved in that movement. Then you get Jacob Bailey coming in. There's their two holding midfielders, and that gap then between the bottom of the midfield and their defence is pretty big for them to get behind Broadmeadow. Yeah,
exactly. And it was 3-on-3 then. Just before.
Exactly, and that's why it happened. So the Olympic have got to be really careful not to lose their shape. And that's what people talk about, shape and balance. That's it.
Big moment for Olympics defence here. Peter Haynes, his right foot straight into the wall. He'll be disappointed with that effort, Peter Haynes. Luke Vigili. Jacob Bailey with somewhat of a clearance. And now over to Peter Haynes again on his left foot in towards the middle. Kanarowski, but Danny Ireland, Finlayson on the volley. Just goes wide, but that's the quality of Danny Ireland there.
And the height of Danny Ireland. His arms look about 6 foot long, so he had time to actually punch that away. I noticed when he went to jump, he sort of just had a bit of a slight limp, but he seems to be running freely now.
Yeah, they've still got that strapping tape from the opening minutes from that injury sustained probably in the first minute of the game. There's Daniel Bird, loses it to James Vigili. Jaden Barber, across to Kanarowski. Plays it to Cale Bradbury. Cal Bradbury turning and losing his footing. And Olympic away through Leo Bertos now.
Even when that one broke down, Broadmeadow have still got 5 players behind the ball.
I was going to say just before Hamilton brought the ball out, I was thinking they better just be careful because Broadmeadow allowed him to come through the centre, waiting to pinch the ball, then get him on the break. And it nearly paid off to Bradbury.
Here's Peter Haynes back to Shane Paul now. Cale Bradbury on his left foot trying to cut it back. Shane Paul gets in there and the free kick goes Hamilton's way against Shane Paul.
Broadmeadow crowd in front not happy with that, but he fell on the ball, Shane Paul, and his arm made contact, so it was pretty clear.
Leo Bertos, former New Zealand international. 3 matches for New Zealand at the 2010 World Cup. Started in all 3 of them.
I was talking to Michael Balch about Leo Bertos, and he said he's very good with the young players. Spends time with, I'm talking about the first grade and the 23s in particular, but he spends a lot of time working with them, hang around with them a little longer at training. He's got his arm around them in the warm-up. So that involvement from your senior players, who've got that level of experience, is just it's a great asset to your team and also to your coaching staff.
In all, it's a great asset for the competition, having Leo Bertos playing in the NPL.
Free kick goes Magic's way. Michael Kanarowski taken down.
He did also say that there were 3 players that were interviewed during the week, and those 3 players were Reece Cooper, Danny Ireland and Leo Bertos through Bar TV. But I'll come back to that.
Here's the free kick in towards the back post. Piddington rises.
But out of the 3 interviews that were done with Bar TV, Leo Bertos wasn't shown apparently in the clips for the Bar TV. And Michael thinks it's because they couldn't understand him.
Well, I'm not sure. Pete Jolly did the interview, so I'll have to find out off Pete what was going on. The Kiwi accent, the thick Kiwi accent.
I don't know, I'm just going off Coach Balch, that's all.
Is Mike Finlayson. But yes, he definitely wasn't shown. It was Reece Cooper and Reece Cooper doing the interviews. And back to Nick Hartnett.
Good pressure by Olympic there, making Nick Hartnett to kick long.
I should say Reece Cooper and Danny Ireland there featuring in those interviews. But yes, no Leo Bertos. Matt Swan with the throw now for Hamilton. So we tick over towards the half an hour mark. Round 6 feature match on Bar TV brought to you by Top Better. Still Magic with the 1-0 advantage after James Virgili's 7th minute goal.
As I said before, the contest between Josh Pennington and Kane Goodchild's been very good. Nice and physical.
Yeah, they nullify themselves out a lot too. I mean, if you've got a lesser defender there, then Goodchild's going to run right. But he hasn't had that real chance because Pennington just doesn't leave his side. Look how close they'll jump here. Make a fool of me there. But he just has not left him. And Goodchild knows that's going to be the way it is going to happen all day.
Matt Swan under pressure from Cale Bradbury. Goes back to Danny Ireland.
I agree with you, Chris, and I also think Kane needs a little bit of help around him. He seems to be isolated slightly up front at the point of the attack.
There'll be plenty of banter between them too. Look how tight they are now. Goody's always trying to just drop off. Piddington will come close when it matters.
Shane Paul now across to Virgili. Daniel Bird gets in there first. Tom Davies. The match just in a little bit of a lull period, you say, Chris and Damien? Both sides just...
Yeah, I agree, Ben, but they're sort of getting into their patterns at the moment and sort of the balance of the game sort of just, it's gone in a bit of a lull. However, things might heat up soon, I've got a feeling.
Yeah, taking a breather just after that frantic opening pace that they were going at. Here's Tommy Spencer playing it through to Reece Cooper. Big note for Reece Cooper, and Luke Virgili clears it away. Bird back in towards the middle. Piddington wins the header from Goodchild, as we were just talking about there. Here's Piddington and Goodchild again, and Piddington wins the battle.
And that's the tightness we're talking about. Piddo's not going to let him have an inch when it's mattered. Right in the back third, that's where he's going to crunch it.
Great tackle over there from Luke Virgili. Over the sideline, Leo Bertos into Bailey. Bailey through for Swan. Who's in it to the 18. Swan plays it across the face. Just too much on it. Bird unable to run it down, and Magic win the throw.
He did well there, Swan. So did Virgili, put a bit of pressure on him just to cause him to kick it too long.
Here's Barber with the throw to Kanarowski. Kyle Hodges and Cody Lucas. A little bit of miscommunication. They haven't played together at the back very much, Cody Lucas and Kyle Hodges.
Yeah, Cody started off left fullback, so there's been a bit of a switch actually. Like we said earlier, Swan gone the right fullback and Tommy Davies to left fullback to combat Virgili's pace.
Cody Lucas played 14 matches last year for Hamilton. Here's a ball in towards Finlayson. And Kyle Hodges and Finlayson coming together. Free kick goes Hamilton's way. Yeah, 14 matches last year, Cody Lucas for Hamilton, but a lot of those were off the bench from memory.
Yeah, Michael Bolger's had to make some changes there, Damien, as you say, because the diagonal balls coming in, from Kantarowski, from Haynes, they're really penetrating and they're getting in dangerous areas. So if he doesn't make a change, chances are that's going to change the game.
Yeah, and I agree, and I think it's a good change what Mick Bolcher's done.
Cale Bradbury on the ball for Broadmeadow now. Ball over the top from Shane Paul. Back to Bradbury. Plays it across and in, and Tom Davies is there to avert the danger for Hamilton Olympic. Now Leo Bertos. He break for Hamilton, looking for Goodchild. Runs slowly to him. Piddington taking him down and winning the free kick.
He did well there, Kane Goodchild. Did very well. Sized it up. Knew what to do. And he was always going to play and go for the free kick, I thought. He did well because he didn't have too many options with him.
Here's Bertos. Over the top, in towards Bailey. Flicking it on towards Bird, but John Griffiths is there for Magic. To Virgili now. Peter Haynes under pressure from Hodges, who cleans him up. And now they're playing it on quickly for Magic. Magic fans not impressed. Matt Swan is down, so that's where Andrew Digby's going.
Just on that challenge from Kyle Hodges, you better be careful because he's already on a yellow card. So it was a solid challenge on Peter Haynes, but there's still a long way to go in this game, and like I said, he's already on a yellow card.
Like we were talking about before, he's got these guys running at him, and they're front 3 and 4 guys. He's going to have to make critical tackles, and one of those just slightly off time could mean that the Olympic are playing with 10 men. This is the importance of him as the captain in the middle at the back, and he's going to make those decisions and make the best that he can. But you know what? In a split second in the heat of the moment, just off that 1 second, it could be the difference.
That's right. But also, I think, Kyle, he came like 20 yards out of the back line to tackle Haynes then. I think he needs to stay in his back line. That's where Magic creates space in beyond and can cause Olympics some problems.
It's a surprising challenge from someone that's already on a yellow card to come in like that. And Matt Swan is going off, so that's not good news for Hamilton. And it looks like Simon Mooney's going to come onto the ground for them. So you'd think there'd have to be a reshuffle of some sort. Simon Mooney more of an attacking player.
You know what? In Bolch's mind right now, he's got 100 scenarios going around, and what's going to work best. He's just going to send Simon out there, and if he's not liking what he's seeing, he'll make a change. So he'll be ticking over in his head, Damien, what's likely to pan out here, and if it's not working, change it.
That's right. It looks like he's put Leo Bertos back to right fullback, and Mooney's gone high on the right. However, Mooney can slot in at right fullback if need be.
Here's Peter Haynes looking for Shane Paul over the sideline, throw for Magic.
Look, the danger of this is Bertos may not have the speed of Bradbury, and that's where Bolch will be churning over in his mind right now. Well, how's this one going to shape up? The experience of Bertos and how much room he's going to give him. He might give him an extra metre, or he might sit nice and tight when he has to. Very, very dangerous. So if something goes in, one of those diagonal balls in, that we've been seeing from Kantarowski and Haynes.
Yeah, and he's also got the option of Simon Mooney back in the right fullback position. I've seen him play right fullback before, and he's very good there.
Ball over the top looking for Cale Bradbury now. Cody Lucas going back for Hamilton.
The thing I like about Simon Mooney, and I love about his game, is when he's running at people, he makes them make decisions. And when he's running at people as a defender, you've either got to go or hold, and if you hold, he'll keep running at you.
Here's a ball through from Shane Paul to find Finlayson. Just couldn't put his boot through it, and straight to Danny Ireland.
Just on that play there, see Kyle Hodges again. He's come back. He's come in the midfield to track Hainesy, and Finlayson's made the run through the centre, causing havoc for.
He's Spencer through for Mooney, but it's just a little bit heavy there to Nick Hartnett. But yes, good point, Damien. Kyle Hodges just out of position again.
Yeah, I think he just needs to hold his line a little bit. Otherwise, there's gaps through the centre of the park for forward runners like Finlayson, Shane Paul, to make those runs.
Here's Mooney looking for Spencer, but think his pass may have taken a slight deflection. John Griffiths turning and playing it straight to Daniel Bird. And Daniel Bird's shot is not one of his best. Goal kick for Nick Hartnett. But Kyle Hodges, he's made some good challenges this afternoon, but he's also made some errors out there for Hamilton. Probably the first goal out-muscled by James Virgili, and then a couple of occasions where the fast men for Magic have got through.
Yeah, I think he should get one of the deep midfielders to pick up Haynes or...
I was just about to say that. He needs to be talking to his two holding midfielders because that's their job.
Here's Bird now down the left-hand side. John Griffiths jockeying him into Spencer, playing it through towards Goodchild. Goodchild gets his boot there and cleared off the line. Mooney should put it in. And Simon Mooney scores the equaliser for Hamilton Olympic.
Terrific lead-up work from Goodchild there and others, but right at that critical moment. And you know what? It's very important to have players following up, isn't it, Damien? You know, you haven't got Mooney in position like that and Bertos sniffing around.
Immediate impact from Simon Mooney, but straight on the ground and puts one in.
Yeah, I agree. Kane Goodchild was excellent there. The way he held the ball up, slid the ball in for Bird, who was unlucky not to score himself. Virgili did well to clear it off the line, however, Mooney was there to tap it in.
Here's Mooney again.
Simon's come from Old Bar in the Taree area, and he's done exceptionally well there before joining you at Broadmeadow, Damien. And he's had some time at Lake Macquarie now here at Hamilton. His mum, Tim, and Lynn down the sideline, so they'll be ecstatic. Down that end they are, seeing him score one there.
He joined Hamilton Olympic at the end of 2013, Simon Mooney. Missed the 2014 season with a knee injury. And then last season, he was outstanding for them. 9 goals in 21 matches. He was underdone for the grand final, unfortunately, just with an injury taken into that match. But an outstanding season for Simon Mooney. Here's Kanarowski now, finding Peter Haynes, whose touch just let him down for once. And to Kyle Hodges now.
Just on Kyle Hodges, I know I was critical a little bit earlier, but he's made a few immense tackles there today. Some real solid tackles, and he just did one on Carl Bradbury just before to prevent a goal.
Here's Hodges, back to Reece Cooper, over the top towards Kane Goodchild. Got his head to it.
He's a quality player, you know, and the tackles that he makes, he's going to do it all day. You take him out of the team and you're going to lose a significant part of your defensive, grouping. He keeps them organised, but he's just got to be really careful.
Exactly, Chris.
Going through for Cale Bradbury. Cale Bradbury with a shot. Danny Island, another great save. Bradbury over the top and just wide from Cale Bradbury.
And that's what we're talking about, Leo Burdos. He's got the experience, however, he hasn't got the pace to combat Carl Bradbury.
Yeah, and we've just seen it right there. Bradbury's straight in behind him, at almost like breezed past, didn't he?
And just back on Daniel Island, that was a great save again. He spreads his wings when he comes on one-on-ones, and he's very hard to beat.
I just wonder, at the back end of this season for Hamilton Olympic, how many points is his goalkeeping going to be worth for them? Danny Island, he's just been absolutely outstanding for them last season and this season, and I'm sure he was outstanding for Lambton before then. 2 grand finals in a row for him for Lambton in 2014 and then Hamilton last year. Tommy Spencer with a shot. Nick Hartnett.
You know, I cannot, not know about you, Damien, but I cannot remember a season where a team's gone through and won a premiership or a major and had an average goalkeeper.
Yeah, exactly. The goalkeeper, if you're having a good season, the goalkeeper's normally about 9 points. They save, some of their saves, you get points from, like a draw or even a win. So
absolutely, and they'll pull things out that normally will go in, and that's the difference between a win or a draw potentially.
That's right. They said when Danny Island was at Lambton, he said he was about 9 points at Lambton. They'll tell me.
They were saying in the EPL when Chelsea let go of Petr Cech to go to Arsenal, they were saying he was about that as well, 9-10 points.
And if you look at Leicester this year, what's his name again? Schmeichel. He had a tremendous year. So many times he's made crucial saves at the right time, which either they got a draw or a win out of. And in the end, they won the Premier League.
Leo Bertos with the free kick. Goes towards Spencer. Back to Bertos. So we tick towards half-time. Mooney back towards Spencer, who's just offside. Those other scores, the Jets Youth leading Adamstown 1-0. Lambton and Maitland locked at 0-0. 1-1 here, and then Western and Charlestown still at 0-0. So it's all the goals here at Darling Street Oval this afternoon. And the Jets Youth with a goal at Adamstown. Adamstown with a lot of players out, red cards, injuries, all sorts of issues for Graham Law's side.
I noticed in the last 5 minutes, Olympics starting to get some space in the midfield and sort of starting to cause Magic a few problems.
Here's a ball back from Davies to Hodges. Up the ground looking for Goodchild. Free kick from John Grivis.
Yeah, he had his handle.
Kane Goodchild.
He's complaining about it, but he had his handle over the back of Goodchild. That's where Goodchild's nice and strong. He'll stay there and if you force the foul.
But if you watch Pennington mark Goodchild, he'll have his chest on him rather than his hands on him. And, yeah, he's glued to him.
100%, Damien, you're exactly right. And that's probably, Piddington's experience because he knows that Goodchild's going to milk it.
Here's Reece Cooper. Goes to Leo Bertos. Back to Cooper. Simon Mooney. Leo Bertos. Now wide to Daniel Bird. Spencer. Piddington in there again.
And the judgment of Pennington's header there was crucial because he could have easily fouled him.
Leo Bertos. 2 goals this season already for Hamilton. Simon Mooney grabbed his 3rd of the season. Just moments ago. Daniel Bird. Piddington again. There he is. Probably been the standout for Magic. And here's Haynes playing it through for Vigili. And Tom Davies again. Another great tackle. Stopping James Vigili from getting through and Goodchild's offside.
And you have to give credit to Mick Bolch with that switch early in the first half and Tommy Davies on James Vigili.
Here's Bradbury now for Magic. Couple of minutes before half-time here on Bar TV, the round 6 match of the round. Hamilton and Broadmeadow locked at 1-1. Broadmeadow opened the scoring in the 7th minute. James Vigili with the goal. And then Simon Mooney equalised for Hamilton Olympic.
Back to that decision, with the changes with Mooney and Bertos and the one on the left-hand side as well. Bolch's had to make a couple, and he'll be happy with the choices he's made. He won't go in thinking that this is happening by chance. He knows exactly what's going on. He knows the strength of Broadmeadow and what he's got to do to combat it.
Here's Josh Piddington now at the back for Broadmeadow. Probably has been their best. Josh Piddington at the back. Cleared that ball off the line, Josh Piddington, when Hamilton did score, but unfortunately it was straight to Simon Mooney. Here is Shane Paul. Cale Bradbury. Peter Haynes now back towards Shane Paul. Bertos. Now Shane Paul with a blistering strike. And Danny Island's there at the near post to knock it over the byline.
And that was another brilliant save by Danny Island. A snapshot by Shane Paul, which went like a rocket. And for Daniel Island to see it as well.
Sure did, and the angle that he had was very cute. To force a save like that from the angle that he was on is just a brilliant strike.
He was looking for his first goal for Magic. Shane Paul there. It's the corner in by Vigili. Kane Goodchild now up the ground, showing some pace now, Kane Goodchild. He's outpacing Luke Vigili, but Luke Vigili with a great tackle. Back to Michael Kanarowski, who finds Nick Hartnett now. Magic fans appreciative of that tackle.
And what I've noticed, the crowd's really starting to come into this game, which always happens at these sort of contests.
Here's Piddington at the header now. Cody Lucas towards Mooney. Now, don't go anywhere at half-time because we've got an interview with Mark Bosnich. Pete Jolly from Bar TV went out and chatted to Mark Bosnich yesterday. Here's Tommy Spencer now. Still Tommy Spencer. Can they strike a huge blow before half-time? You bet they can. Daniel Bird does it again. 2 weeks in a row he's on the score sheet for Hamilton.
Look, I've got to compliment the technique of Bird there. He could have taken a touch and it would have been too late. And the quality and the pace off the inside of his boot, Damien, exceptional technique.
Oh, that was a great finish. But that comes back to Tommy Spence. Got past 2 players. Great shot. Good save by Nick Harnett, but unfortunately it went to Daniel Bird. But it was a great finish by Bird. And it was bouncing. Sort of had to go on the volley a little bit.
Yeah.
And well timed.
Look, the power he's had to put it on to pass Nick Hartnett. Yeah, it was just a terrific strike. Great technique.
As we said earlier in this game, Olympic started a little bit flat, but you can't write off Olympic, and they've really come into this game, especially the last 15, 20 minutes.
Here's Piddington over the top, looking for James Vigili. Back to Danny Island.
And I do believe the change with Tommy Spence going to left fullback is really...
It's been key, and the same one with Bertos and Mooney. Critical change there.
Yeah, ever since Tom Davies has been put into left back, Hamilton, really, there hasn't been too many chances out on this right-hand side for James Vigili, but Peter Haynes now, he's going to try and change that. The number 9 for Broadmeadow Magic, here's Shane Paul. Shane Paul sliding his way to the 18 and going down.
Just on Kyle Hodges there, he did tremendous there. Allowed Shane Paul, just size him up, let him go around him, and unfortunately Shane Paul just knocked it too far ahead. Kyle Hodges has been very strong today, even though we have been slightly critical in some areas. He's been very solid.
So Danny Island with the goal kick, as I said moments before the goal, so don't go anywhere half time. Pete Jolly from Bar TV had a chat with Mark Bosnich, former Socceroo. There's the ball over the sideline. That is half time. Hamilton Olympic go in 2-1 over Broadmeadow Magic. And I must say, Chris, Broadmeadow really dominated the opening 25 minutes, got a 1-goal lead, and then probably the last 20 minutes half. I wouldn't say Hamilton dominated, but gee, they've grabbed 2 goals.
Yeah, I think when Mooney's come on and they've made the change with Bertos, he's made his presence felt. His legs are, a little bit fresher.
Now we're going to go down Damien Smith with Kyle Hodges.
Taking our 2 hands. Just lock it up at the back. Battle, second to a lot of ball. So yeah, just tighten up at the back, I think.
So thanks to Kyle Hodges there, Hamilton Olympic skipper down there with Damien Smith. So Olympic, back to that, Chris. It's just incredible. I really thought that Magic, they had the best part of the first half, and I thought it was pretty even. Probably going to half-time level, but that's a huge blow from Daniel Bird on half-time.
It sure is, and Bolshe will be just in the sheds at the moment, very, very happy with the choices he's made. He won't share that with anyone, but he'll know the choices that he's made has made a significant contribution to the result that's happening right now. The other thing is Magic did come out very, very sharp out of the blocks, and obviously getting Vigili into the game as much as he got in the first sort of 5-10 minutes, that could have, 1 or 2 of those chances go in, and we've got a different story right now. So all in all, I think it's been very even. Results fair enough right now, but this one's still got a lot more to go. And like we said, we've got before at the start of the game, these local derbies are really, really strong. They're alive, and they've been going for a long time. This is another crack at it today.
The onus is on Rob Vigili and Bobby Namov now after that, after now the 2-1 lead with Olympic. It was on Mick Bulch after James Vigili and Cal Bradbury were cutting them up early. But now it's back on Rob Vigili and Bobby Namov. And what are they got to do in the second half to get Magic, I should say, over the line?
Yeah, I think, that position with Bertos playing at right fullback or that right side there. You've got Bradbury who we can see, and it's already happened, he can get past him. This side with Vigili isn't as effective as it was now, so they've got that to consider. All right, so what are you going to do? All right, do you change the way you play? That's an option. Maybe they're going to get balls rolled into the feet, but I think it would appear to me that they had a clear plan to get in behind the defence, and that's what they were doing through Kandarovski and Hainsey, putting those balls in. So maybe what they can do is shorten the game up a little bit and start playing the balls into the feet, into the strikes a little bit more, and getting some support play from the second and third midfielder. And if they do that, perhaps the game might settle a bit more for them.
So a big second half coming out. They've got plenty of pace on the bench as well, Broadmeadow, so they've got enough firepower to get back into this contest. But half-time here at Darling Street. We'll be back in about 10 minutes' time. Hamilton Olympic 2, Broadmeadow Magic 1.
Mark Bosnich and Channel 7's Mel McLaughlin. Mate, looks like we're in for a great day here at the Duke.
Yes, we are. It's my second time here at the Duke of Wellington. I was actually here I think it was about 3 or 4 years ago at old Newcastle KB United with one of my old managers, Alan Vest, and a lot of old football people. So it's great to be back here for the Broadmeadows Magic. It's their 50th anniversary. Wonderful achievement. Originally the club was started by Macedonian immigrants all those years ago, and to survive this long is a wonderful achievement.
Mate, and I guess football at the top level also depends how it's going at the grassroots level.
Well, yes, it does in a lot of ways, because basically everyone at the top level starts from the grassroots level. So it's always very, very important that the pathways are as clear as possible. What I'm saying, that means that you don't, basically damage too much of your goods, so that they fall up by the wayside by the time they need to get to the top level. So this is very, very important. This is what I really look forward to during the off-season, so to speak. Well, it's nearly the off-season, but practically the A-League's over. We've only got 4 Asian Champions League games, and we've got 3 internationals, but going to all these clubs, not only here in New South Wales, my home state, but all around the country, and to talk and to look and to see how things are going. And I just went to see the pitch was absolutely fantastic. I cut a bit of grass as well. That was really good.
Really going back to grassroots.
Yes, literally.
Mate, I was talking to the Magic president yesterday, and he said that it was a great thrill to have you back here today. But the success of the juniors coming through, he said that he's never seen anything like it, and that comes back to what you're saying, very strong in the area.
Yeah, well, the more talent that we have, the better it is. Look, football is the game, or soccer, whatever you want to call it. It's the game of the future, as we know. In this country, we have a lot of other sports which are above football, and they're traditional Australian sports, the Aussie rules, rugby league, rugby union, cricket, and football people totally understand that. But in terms of, when I say it's a sport of the future, it's very, very difficult to get mothers these days to let their children play those other sports. Cricket, not so much, but the others definitely. And that's what we're concentrating on to get the best athletes. That's where the real competition comes between the sports. For me, I'm a sport lover of all persuasions. I'll go now to the rugby league during the off-season, to the AFL and to the rugby union. But the real war, if you like, between the codes is to getting the best athletes playing your sport. And it's great to hear that we've got some great talent coming through, because eventually that's what people will want in their sport, is the best players.
You touched on there, you love rugby league.
Yes.
Big town here in Newcastle, the Newcastle Knights.
Not doing so well, are they?
Not so well this year. Not so well this year.
Well, you know who my team is?
What's your team?
Yeah, Parramatta Eels, so don't talk to
so
me
good
on salary cap. Best start
it.
since 1986, and they hit us with a salary cap.
What's going on?
Disgraceful.
Although you won the Harold Matthews grand final in under-16s.
Doesn't matter. We won the Auckland Nines. They can take it away, just like they took it away from Melbourne Storm. We know we're the champions.
Mate, a lot of people, of course, would associate you now with Fox Sports.
Yes.
How's that going?
Fantastic. I really enjoy my work. I've been back in the country now for 8 years. Been working there for all that time. It's very, very fortunate, very, very lucky for the first part of my life to do something that I love. The second part of my life, it's not playing, but it's the next best thing, talking about something that you love. So I thank the Lord that I have such a good job.
I know a few guys down at Fox Sports, and there's this dessert thing going on the weekends. What's that all about? Is it true?
Yes, it is true. It's somebody's turn. So there's 4 of us normally on the show. And obviously, once every 4 weeks, you have to bring desserts in for the rest of them. So I just get my mum to do the cakes, and she does them very well.
We're talking pavlova?
No, sponge cake.
Favourite?
Yes, most definitely.
All right, maybe there's a bit here today at the Duke.
Hopefully.
Righto, mate. Thanks very much for talking to Bar TV, and have a good afternoon.
Thank you very much, and hello to everybody watching Bar TV.
Mel, welcome to Bar TV.
Thanks. It's a real honour to be on.
No worries. Well, it's a big year for you. You've got the Olympics coming up. What's it
1-0 Jets and then no scores in other games, is that right?
Chelsea and Western's gone blank again, so sometimes.
Oh, they get blank.
Sometimes they go blank. Yeah, it's not fair. It wasn't a law.
Hello and welcome back to Darling Street Oval, home ground of Hamilton Olympic. For the second half, it is Hamilton with a 2-1 lead over Broadmeadow at half time. Andrew Digby about to get us underway. To be Magic from right to left in their red and yellow, and we are underway in the second half. Hamilton in their blue and white from left to right of screen, and it's James Virgili on the ball first up for Broadmeadow Magic. What do you think Rob Virgili said to his boys after conceding those 2 late goals?
Yeah, I think Rob said just be patient, let's keep the ball a little bit. Let's still try and spray our wide plays and get them in nice and early and look forward with the ball. But also, when they're playing out from the back, let the fullbacks bring the ball into the midfield, try pinch it and then get them on the break.
Here's Griffiths playing it wide to Jaden Barber. Back to Barber from Kanarowski. Now inside to Virgili. And now Bailey under some pressure and wins the free kick for Hamilton.
And just on that, Broadmeadow came out about 5 minutes before the kick-off at half-time, so obviously they've got intent to really start this game nice and with intensity, nice and early.
They started the first half in blistering pace, Broadmeadow, and then Hamilton, just saying to Chris at half-time, Hamilton just clawed their way back into the contest. And Snavel a couple of goals before the break. It was James Virgili in the 7th. For Broadmeadow getting the opening goal, and then here's a free kick going to Broadmeadow. Well, I'm surprised he hasn't played advantage there. But James Virgili, as we said, opening goal in the 7th minute, and then the goals for Hamilton late on in the second half. It was Simon Mooney and Daniel Bird with the goals.
I think Digger's done the right thing there. I think Daniel Lyon had that ball covered when Carl Bradley was running through, so bringing it back was probably the correct decision.
And Danny Island probably pulled out when he heard the whistle as well, so. Here is Virgili. Slicing it straight to Danny Island there, Luke Virgili. Here's Island. Up over halfway, Luke Virgili controls. Daniel Bird with the head. Michael Kanarowski.
I think Michael Kanarowski needs to get more on the ball, try and get a lot more switches in the game so they can get these wide players in for Broadmeadow.
There's Kanarowski again. Still Michael Kanarowski. Gets away from Mooney and plays it into the chest of Kyle Hodges. 1 A-League match for the Jets for Michael Kanarowski in the win against Melbourne Victory last season, or the season before last, I should say, 2014-15. Here's Virgili now on the ball. Doesn't hit it there, James Virgili. I'm surprised what he was trying to do there.
He'll be very disappointed in that effort there in himself. He knew it straight away. He should have just got a good piece of it.
He probably should have hit a left foot as well. But also there, the centre fullbacks of Olympic were coming into the midfield, causing a little bit of space in for Virgili and also Carl Brubby to run into.
Virgili back to Finlayson, and now Virgili again. Tom Davies doing a great job on him again on that left-hand side for Hamilton, and the right-hand side attack for Broadmeadow. Davies, good child. Touching it on, looking for Bailey, couldn't find him. There's not enough power. Shane Paul to Peter Haynes. And Shane Paul comes into the back of Jacob Bailey.
Just on that move before, see Josh Pennington give Kane Goodchild a yard. It wasn't glued to him. Allowed him to chest the ball down. He read it beautifully and just intercepted it so easily.
Josh Piddington doing a great job on Kane Goodchild this afternoon.
Yeah, exactly right, Damien. Sometimes you're in that position and you do stay too close to him, you haven't got a chance to pick it up, and he'll just get it on his touch. Just quickly, it's good to see West Wallsend coach Gary Rowe having a listen this afternoon, Damien. Wonder who he's supporting this afternoon, do you think?
I'd say Olympic due to the fact that it's blue and white.
That's it?
That's it, I think.
On a serious note, it's interesting with other coaches. He may be well looking at these sides here, thinking, all right, who's a potential for me, or what players they've got in the 23s that are up and coming that are going to bolster our group for next season. So you have clubs in other divisions that are taking a high interest in these types of games, and Rowi's always been very good at that.
The Bluebells, West Wall's End. That's the nickname, I'm pretty certain. Hopefully I got that right.
But it is the Bluebells. I can tell you that one with confidence.
Yes, they are. I'd assume they're trying to get a licence for the top grade next year. They're throwing it up in the air. This is the last year of the this series of the NPL competition, and they're going to put it either into 2 tiers of 10 teams, I think, and have promotion relegation, or they're just going to have 3-year NPL licences where teams stay in the comp for 3 years. So find out at the end of the season. Here's Jaden Barber on the ball for Broadmeadow in towards Finlayson, and Leo Bertos is there at the back post to deal with the danger.
That was a great overlapping run by Jaden Barber there.
Here is Bird looking for Goodchild. Piddington now for Broadmeadow. Very congested on that side of the field. As here's Vigili is just offside. But one thing I was noticing there, a lot of the play over that side of the ground, plenty of space on this near side.
And again, Cole Hodges comes in the midfield to pick up Haynes, creates that space just in behind, and then Vigili was nearly through. That was a straight ball, a little bit straighter. He was away.
Yeah, sometimes when the play does shift over to the far side, in our case here, is that it creates some big spaces, and Bertos is well aware of that. And you'll have a look at him now; he's just loitering around. Mooney's pushed inside to give him a lot of extra space. Mooney takes 1 or 2 with him, and Bertos really he's sneaking back inside now, but he's got literally almost half a park to work with. Mind you, on his shoulder is Bradbury, so he's got to be very careful of that.
And they haven't tested out Leo Bertos as much as they would have liked Broadmeadow Magic since he's gone back there after the injury to Matt Swan in the first half. Here's Spencer back to Hodges, going over the top for Goodchild, but John Griffiths gets back and does a good job there for Broadmeadow Magic. Griffiths up towards James Vigili. Under pressure again from Tom Davies, and Tom Davies picks his pockets again. He's won that one-on-one battle this afternoon so far, Tom Davies, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's been a great battle, and it's a great tactical move by Mick Bulch to move Tom Davies there.
Here's Luke Vigili down this near side. Looking for Cale Bradbury. Deflects fortuitously to Finlayson, who goes to Vigili, and he's taken down. Well, Tom Davies in the back, and Digby doesn't give the penalty.
I think he just got a touch on that, which was, it was a great tackle in the end. But Olympic have to be careful because Magic will get them on the break if they leave 3 at the back.
Here's Barber, goes to Vigili. Big chance there for Broadmeadow now. Jaden Barber. Kanorowski. Luke Vigili now. Magic just trying to work their way back into the contest. Here's Shane Paul across to Vigili, and Broadmeadow win the free kick. Simon Mooney, that one going against.
Yeah, Simon's not very happy with that. He thought that was a little bit rough, is what he was thinking. I know Simon frequents himself down at Snow's Patisserie at the junction. Loves it down there, Simon.
Here's Luke Vigili. His last free kick wasn't one of his best. We'll see. It's a better effort, but straight to Danny Island again.
Yeah, that was a great ball in by Vigili, and Pennington was unlucky not to get a head on it, but however, Danny Island is just so solid in goals.
Came out and dealt with it. Here's Piddington going back. Barber did a good job there for Broadmeadow. Mooney and Shane Paul now. Now it's Spencer. And the ball, his ball over the sideline. Here's Luke Vigili on the throw. Here on Bar TV, round 6 match of the round, Hamilton Olympic with a 2-1 lead at home against Broadmeadow. Here's Griffiths. Across to Jaden Barber. James Vigili. Peter Haynes now. Under pressure from Jacob Bailey, and gives away the foul.
See the experience with Peter Haynes there, just sort of falling quite softly with the Olympic player knowing that he would be difficult to keep the ball.
Here's John Griffiths over towards Cale Bradbury. Leo Bertos Wins the header again there. Vigili tries to get past Mooney, who nicks the ball now. Bird scored the second goal for Hamilton. Daniel Bird back to Bailey. Does plenty of work in the middle of the park, Jacob Bailey. Now to Leo Bertos.
I know Olympics on the attack here, but they better just be a little bit careful,
Ball
leaving
through.
3-on-3 at the back here.
Yeah, ball through for Spencer. Spencer with a shot. Great block. I think that was Jaden Barber. Or John Griffiths there for Magic. Here's Peter Haynes. Great head from Tom Davies there, keeping it away from James Vigili.
Just on that previous move, Jacob Bailey copped a knock, and I can see that it's hurt him. Might come back to haunt him a little bit later in the game. Moving okay at the moment, but it definitely hurt him.
Here's the ball through for Bertos. Piddington's there to clean up for Magic now. Cody Lucas to Simon Mooney. Now Bertos. Spencer. Spencer through for probably looking for Goodchild, but he was just a touch offside.
I don't think Kane Goodchild realised he was onside then.
He was onside. I didn't see the assistant, but Kane Goodchild was onside there.
I think the right fullback or John Griffiths kept him on.
Here's Kanarowski now. Looking over the top for Finlayson. Couldn't find him. Bird now across to Mooney. Mooney to Hodges. Hodges pushing forward for Hamilton. Goes across to Goodchild. Just hit it a little bit hard. And Goodchild. Vigili makes the tackle, and now Shane Paul for Magic. And they break here. Shane Paul over the top. And Danny Ireland slicing it over the sideline.
He's just got to get rid of it there at all costs. No mistakes. Unload the thing and let's move on.
And Danny Ireland ran that quite early as well, so it gave him enough time to clear it.
Yeah, got a little bit of an awkward bounce too, didn't he? It's another quality ball from Haynes.
Here's Vigili into the middle, and Cody Lucas puts it over for a corner.
Just on Peter Haynes, I noticed the first 10 minutes of the first half, it was actually quite high. In the last few minutes, he's dropping back in the midfield, picking the ball up, just like then to play James Vigili through, which could be a real threat to Olympic.
Sure, and when he first came out in the second half, he stayed nice and high as well. So
Vigili whips it in. Mooney.
I wonder if that's a ploy that they're taking into the game today.
Kanarowski now in towards the middle, headed away by Spencer. Shane Paul on the volley, away. And now Kane Goodchild. Plenty of space in front of Hamilton's number 6 now. He's got Kanarowski jockeying. Piddington comes across now. Michael Kanarowski clearing it away straight to Daniel Bird now. Bird across to Mooney. Let it run on to Tommy Spencer, but Nick Hartner comes out and grabs that one. Goes quickly to James Vigili.
Hey Ben, the game's really starting to open up now. Some of the players look slightly tired, but you know there's starting to be a lot of space out there for the midfielders.
Here's Haynes, Bradbury trying to play a back heel to Vigili. It was the right idea, but just didn't get enough on it in the direction as well.
And just on Peter Haynes, he's starting to drop a little bit deeper, getting more space on the ball. He's able to turn and spray these dangerous strikers in.
Here's Piddington playing it wide to Peter Haynes out here on the left. Calm on the ball on the outside of his boot. Looking for Cale Bradbury.
Yeah, what you're saying there, Damien, is when there are some heavier legs out there, which there are at the moment, people like Haynes, you don't want them doing extra leg work. You want them just to be in the right positions at the right time so he can make that critical pass. You can see what he was trying to do there, bend it on the outside of the foot. But as you get more tired, you're less likely to pull that stuff off. So he needs to, he needs to be able to make sure that he's still going at the 93rd minute, and I think that's the way he'll manage himself.
Yeah, exactly. And even then he dropped deep in the midfield, in between the lines, trying to pinpoint James Vigili again.
Mooney into Reece Cooper now. Takes off down the right-hand side. Still Reece Cooper, turning Finlayson inside and out. Now back to Bailey.
That's well played by Reece Cooper.
Bailey across to Daniel Bird. Still Daniel Bird. Charlestown last season. Hamilton this year. Daniel Bird, great tackle. Josh Piddington scored the first goal for Hamilton. Piddington and Bradbury and Bailey. A little bit of push and shove.
Just on Josh Pennington, then you notice he wasn't glued the trial again. He waited, see what he was going to do, and then intercepted the pass. It was great defending by Josh Pennington.
Yellow card for Jacob Bailey.
He's another one, Jacob Bailey, in the middle of the park, who we haven't really spoken about him much, but we did mention him at half time, Ben. He's worked and worked and worked. Nothing, you're not going to see him doing anything spectacular. He's just win it, roll it, make a big tackle. And you can see he's working, he's had a good work.
So Michael Kanarowski going off the ground, and Dino Fajkovic coming on. He scored 2 goals last week for Magic against the Jets youth side.
To me, I think that was a tactical change. I'm unsure exactly what Magic have gone with here.
Over the top, Vigili, and the free kick goes against Peter Haynes on this occasion.
Obviously, Kanarowski was anchoring the deep midfield role for Broadmeadow Magic, so obviously he coming off. Looks like they're going with 2 deep midfielders in Shane Paul and Finlayson. Looks like Haynes is just going to sit in front and push Fadger further on, more to the point of the attack. That's a good move by Vigili.
Stanley Island with the free kick now for Hamilton. Stanley Island up over halfway now. Going up, Jaden Barber goes up the line, and Tom Davies. Thought there was a hint of a handball, but not called by referee Andrew Digby. Now across to this near side. Luke Vigili will run this one down for Magic. They haven't beaten Hamilton since 2013 Broadmeadow, when Peter Haynes scored one of the best volleys you'll ever see. And since then, they haven't been able to beat Hamilton.
So just on that move from with Michael Kanarowski coming off, obviously they've pushed Dino Fadjovic up front, so it's going to be an interesting battle between him and Hodges, both with pace. And Haynes' dropped to player number 10, so it looks like they're going with a 4-3-3.
First versus third on the ladder this afternoon. Hamilton up the top, Magic in third. Magic looking to take top spot off Hamilton with a win this afternoon. They've got a little bit of work to do, down 2-1. Here on Bar TV this afternoon, the round 6 match of the round. And now Bailey on the ball for Hamilton Olympic. Back to Hodges.
Bailey's another one that enjoys his Snows patisserie.
Enjoy the shot and enjoy the stop at Snows.
You
Jacob
can
Bailey
get it all
and
down
Simon
there.
Mooney.
You can get it all down there.
Been
Coffees,
to
cakes.
been to Snows many times after I've taken the kids to Arnold's for a bit of a swim. Coffees are great.
So here's the ball across to Simon Mooney. On the ball across, looking for Kane Goodchild. Sits up for Tommy Spencer, now for Mooney. Shane Paul, great tackle in there. Still Shane Paul for Broadmeadow. He's been impressive this afternoon, Shane Paul. And
He's been impressive all year, Ben. He's had a great start to the year, Shane Paul. He was away from the game for a few years now. He's got his hunger back.
Ball looking through there, Shane Paul, but he's probably unlucky not to grab his first goal for Magic with that blazing shot in the first half. Bradbury diving in on Leo Bertos, and Cale Bradbury gets a yellow card.
And that was the experience of Leo Bertos there, just holding his ground, using his body to shield the ball away from Cale Bradbury. He got a bit frustrated and sort of, took him out a little bit.
Yeah, he probably won't want to see that one again if he goes to look at it. It's not his best.
I wouldn't be surprised if the game starts to feisty up a little bit towards the later part of the second half, especially with Olympic up 2-1. Both sides are desperate for a win today.
Yeah, you're right. And Bradbury would be getting a bit frustrated because he's not had the opportunities he'd like to have, as many as he wanted to during the game, and that's just a frustration through and through that one.
So Danny Ireland with the free kick. Bertos has done a pretty good job on Cale Bradbury, but he hasn't really got too much space, Cale Bradbury, over on this near side since the change was made.
Yeah, exactly, especially in the second half. I think Bradbury got past him once in the first half, but the second half has been a lot tighter.
Here's Bird going back to Tom Davies. Davies going across the ground to Cooper. Cooper has a go. Nick Hartnett, a good save, sits up for Goodchild, who hits the shot. Luke Vigili off the line, I'm pretty sure, for Magic there.
Yeah, another good save, good shot and a good save again. And Nick's pulled out a few this afternoon that he'll be very proud of.
I think that one in the first half, that was probably the most impressive save of the match. I know Danny Island's made some good ones, but that was a outstanding effort
And
from
Kane
Nick Hartnett.
Yeah, Kane Goodchild was unlucky there. Sort of just bounced up on him, so he couldn't snap it earlier.
Here's the corner in towards the back post. Bailey, well, I don't know how he's headed it over from there, Jacob Bailey.
Yeah, it looks like he was going backwards a little bit, so it was a bit awkward for him.
But that stroke of Goodchild, you don't get a lot of time in that situation. Sometimes you don't even have enough time to swing a leg. It's just got to be a quick little punch, and that's what it looked like he was doing there.
Here's John Griffiths. The run for Magic to Barber. Turns it over to Goodchild. Bird, Mooney, now to Spencer. Just offside, Tommy Spencer there.
I think Magic's midfield need to get a little bit tighter on the Olympic midfield. They've just have got a little bit of space just recently.
Piddington gets under it, going for Carl Bradbury, and Bertos is there to win the header again.
Good hang time.
Vigili on this near side. Bertos towards Mooney. Shane Paul muscles him off the ball. And Shane Paul wins the free kick.
Shane Paul's balance and defending there was extremely of a high standard.
Yeah, he did particularly well, didn't he? Had Simon nipping at him, and he just kept him under control, kept him at bay.
Kyle Hodges heading it away. Bird. Shane Paul. Vigili. He tracked that one down. He does so. Mooney doing a job over there on him and winning the throw for his side. Cooper.
That's well played by Cooper. Turned out beautifully.
Daniel Bird. Vigili's pushed right up, and Tom Davies has got around him now. Can James Vigili defend this raid from Tom Davies across the face? Piddington clears it up the ground towards Fajkovic. Controls beautifully off the chest. Now Bradbury wide. Bertos there again. Bertos to Mooney. Back to Leo Bertos. Paul and Bertos shoulder to shoulder. Leo Bertos gets around him, and then Luke Vigili cleans up the damage. But Leo Bertos, he has been a revelation at right back this afternoon.
Yeah, I think he's done terrifically well keeping Bradbury at bay. We spoke real early when that change happened about him, whether he sits in or he sits off, and sometimes a combination of both, depending on where the play's at.
Here's Daniel Bird on that far side. Jaden Barber over there putting some pressure on him. Jaden Barber, a little push in the back from Daniel Bird.
Yeah, Jaden Barber done tremendous there. Defended very well on Bird.
Damien, you mentioned Reece Cooper before and that turn that he made inside, and that sort of turn creates opportunities and taking the ball in its natural way that it went, losing two players and putting Olympic in the attack.
Exactly, and for such a young player, he knew exactly he was going to turn that way and come out the other side.
Sure did.
That was very good.
He's only 21 years old. He's had a couple of years at the Jets. He was there for a year, and I think he scored the winner versus Jaffers in last year's semi-final, Ben.
Reece Cooper scored the equaliser, which in the end was the winner. Outstanding year it was for Reece Cooper, yes, last year.
His coach Michael Balch believes he's got a really big future, this boy.
Now Hamilton, since finishing 6th in 2014, they've lost just 3 matches. An incredible stat. One of those was the grand final. One of those was a round match to Edgeworth last year, and then they lost to Maitland here in the final round last year. Mooney with a shot. Deflects straight to Hartnett. So they have had very much a purple patch of form, Hamilton, over a long period of time. The last year and a bit. They're also still in the FFA Cup. Edgeworth, Lambton and Hamilton, the 3 sides from the Northern New South Wales NPL, still in that competition. Here's Bailey. They haven't played in the round of 32, Hamilton. It's been Broadmeadow the first 2 years with South Cardiff and Edgeworth, and Broadmeadow not this year. Here's Cooper chipping it over the top of Hartnett. We look like Hamilton fans are up, but Digby's blown his whistle. He hasn't given the goal, Andrew Digby. I'm not sure what. So Hartnett's got a yellow card. Well, I'm not sure what's going on.
What's happening? Reece Cooper, he's chipped it over the top of Hartnett. As it bounced, I think he's blown a penalty, and therefore it's
the
no
goal
goal.
Doesn't count.
Goal doesn't count.
So it's going to be a penalty to Hamilton. So all will be fine and all will be well if Hamilton put this penalty away. But if it's saved or it's missed, all of a sudden it throws up.
I think Digger, if he had his time again, he would have let that go. But the ball did just trickle into the goals. He probably thought it wasn't going to make it, so he blew the penalty. But in hindsight, I think Diggers would have preferred.
Well, this is a really difficult situation for the referee here. I actually feel for him. You're right, Damien. He would have let it go if he'd known. And from where certainly we are, we would know certain that it was going in. And he's got to do the right thing. You're right, Ben. If this doesn't go in, Olympic are going to be up in arms. Already Bolchi's down there, not happy.
Well, Leo Burtos, former New Zealand international, standing over it, up against Nick Hartnett. Here's Burtos. He hits it. Nick Hartnett got hands to it. But Leo Burtos scores his third of the year and Magic's third this afternoon. And it's going to be tough now for Broadmeadow, you'd have to think, boys.
I wouldn't write off Broadmeadow at the moment. There's still, how long to go is there?
There's 20 minutes left, 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think there's more themes to come out of this game at the moment.
More twists and turns, you think?
Definitely, but I think Olympic would probably deserve that goal. They've done quite well the last 5-10 minutes.
Look what happened early in the game. Broadmeadow got a goal, and we talked about the clip around the year. Olympic then got into gear. They've worked their way in, going at 2-1 at half time. Maybe this is the clip that Broadmeadow needed to kick them back into the game.
Here's Vigili with the throw, but Fadjevic's been impressive since he's come on, holding up the ball for Broadmeadow. We'll see if he can create something for Magic.
Yeah, I think the last 20 minutes is going to be really intense. It's going to get physical as well, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a few more cards thrown out.
If Broadmeadow can grab one back, it'll really put a little bit more spice into the back half of this one. Piddington. Lovely skill, Josh Piddington. Haynes playing it wide. And Tom Davies with the interception. Bird.
I still believe there's at least another goal in this.
Here's Bird to Davies. Great tackle from John Griffiths there.
Look, you always want to be 3 up with 20 to go. There's no doubt about that. But sometimes getting a goal like that's going to just raise the tempo of the game again, and those heavy legs aren't so heavy anymore.
Yeah. However, CT Olympics are only 2 up with 20 to go. You said 3.
3-1 is what I'm talking about. He's 3-1, isn't it? Sorry, Smudge.
I thought you said 3 up.
Oh, I just meant, you know what I mean.
Tommy Spencer coming on.
It doesn't go away, does it?
Tommy Spencer comes to the ground and Pat Brown goes on. He scored the first goal in the match against Lambton last year in the second leg of the semi-final to send it into extra time. That was probably one of the biggest goals of his career. And Pat Brown, he's scored plenty for Magic. 19 goals, I should say, in his Hamilton Olympic career. Here's a ball over the top, looking for Fajkovic. In the back of Cody Lucas. Play allowed to go on, Peter Haynes. That's Jacob Bailey getting back and doing the dirty work for Hamilton yet again. Here's Mooney into the back of Shane Paul.
Jacob Bailey's been a quiet achiever for Olympic today. He just won those battles in the middle of the park. When he had to win the ball, he won the ball.
Yep.
When he had to control it.
And I think you'd go back, Danny Island in the first half made 2 or 3 saves, which on another day could have found their way in. And they were huge because at that point, Magic were up 1-0. That changes the game. So Danny Island still outstanding today yet again.
I know I've mentioned Bailey a few times, but he's made runs, 20, 30, 40-metre runs, and he doesn't get the ball. And then he comes back and he'll do it again, and then he'll tackle, he'll pick it up, he'll release it. He's just trying to hold that base of the midfield so that Magic's attack just don't have that opportunity to get through.
Here's Pat Brown. Under pressure from Barber and this free kick goes Magic's way. Under pressure from Barber and Griffiths, and free kick to Magic. Vigili now on the ball. Brings it across to this near side looking for Carl Bradbury. That slices off his boot straight to Danny Island in the Hamilton goal.
I think Rob Vigili be wanting Magic just to get the ball, get the foot on it, just knock it around a little bit. There's still 20 to go to get some goals. So instead of just always forcing the ball forward.
Here's Bailey. Bird. Bird across to Mooney. Mooney into the back of Finlayson. Luke Vigili. Daniel Bird wins that little battle. Takes it towards goal, Daniel Bird. John Griffiths heading it on to Nick Hartnett. Goes to John Griffiths. Peter Haynes. Haynes looking long for Vigili. Vigili runs it down. Oh, that bright sign over there, sun glinting off it. Vigili back to Haynes. Reese Cooper makes a great tackle. Reese Cooper's away. He's got Goodchild up there with him. And Cooper taken down. Yellow card for John Griffiths.
You don't like to say that's a good professional foul, but that was a good professional foul on Reese Cooper because Johnny Griffiths was in no man's land and checked him. Otherwise, he was through.
Look, the midfield of Broadmeadow are on the top of the D down this bottom end, and there weren't any other players for Broadmeadow up until the halfway. If he doesn't do that, you pick it right on the head there, Smudge. They can be away. You know, they had 5-6 guys running at the ball.
Great tackle from Shane Paul there. Here's Peter Haynes. He's got Kale Bradbury, who's in front of Bertos on this occasion, but goes to Fajkovic. Zeno Fajkovic cuts inside Bertos, who slips over. Peter Haynes with the shot, and he blazes that one over, Peter Haynes. Couldn't add to his 2 goals from the season already. Here's Danny Ireland up over halfway. Griffiths. And now Jaden Barber running it down inside the sideline. Throw goes Magic's way. But Magic, they just seem like they're a little bit impatient at the moment with the 3-1 scoreline.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're trying to force the ball forward all the time, every single time.
Here's Mooney playing it through for Goodchild. And now Shane Paul wide to Peter Haynes. Haynes back to Paul, I should say. Griffiths goes wide to Vigili. This is better build up from Broadmeadow.
Yeah, this is a lot better from Broadmeadow. They've been a little bit patient with the ball, just trying to find the gaps.
Here's Piddington finding Fajkovic. Looking over the top. Now Haynes. Shane Paul.
And Magic's got all their midfielders forward here again.
Pat Brown away for Hamilton and his ball across. But Hamilton getting plenty behind the ball now, aren't they? As you would expect, up 3-1. Less than 15 to go. Finally, they find Carl Bradbury on this near side. Still Bradbury plays it to Fajkovic. Fajkovic trying to spin and turn for Magic. Great tackle from Kyle Hodges.
That was so well defended by Kyle Hodges. He's on a yellow. Fajkovic is in the box, but he held his ground and did very well.
Looks like he's done something there. I'm not sure he got a bit of a cramp when he overstretched or what that was. But I tell you, he'll sleep well tonight. And if he gets through this game with the amount of tackles that he's made without a second yellow, he'll have done a huge job for his team.
Here's the ball in. Haynes couldn't get there with the header. Fajkovic. Shane Paul then. Across to Piddington, who goes down the box. Digby doesn't give the penalty and Hamilton are away. Bird down that far side of the ground now.
It's 4v4.
Here is Bird. Goes to Brown. Hamilton comfortable to just play it around now at the back. Bailey.
Yeah, I think Olympic want to slow the play down at the moment. Just keep hold possession, wind the clock down. There's 15 to go.
Bertos. It's right under it and finds Goodchild. Nick Hartnett comes out.
It's very interesting when you get 2 teams like this. One wants to play quick and the other one wants to play slow. So we go quick, slow, opportunities are going to come out of that. Which Olympic, they're happy just the 2 holders to roll it back through the lines. Gets played forward, middle, and then, all of a sudden, Broadmeadow.
This is Goodchild with a massive chance for Hamilton. Kane Goodchild getting back Barber. Goodchild straight at Nick Hartnett. Makes the save.
Good recovery by Barber. He'd made the mistake, but he recovered well.
Here's the ball with Peter Haynes. Back to Vigili. Luke Vigili. And now Peter Haynes. A little bit of push and shove. Luke Vigili and Daniel Bird. And Broadmeadow with the free kick.
Kane Goodchild had a chance to wrap the game up there, I thought. But it was a great save by Nick Hartnett.
Piddington to Haynes and Going towards Fadcevic, couldn't find him with the pass, Josh Piddington. Fadcevic wins it back from Bertos. Vigili, win in front of Mooney. Bertos diving in. Here's Bradbury on the edge of the 18. And Mooney and Vigili in a bit of push and shove.
Believe it or not, they're actually good friends. Past Magic player Simon Mooney, they're quite good friends. They don't mind a beer together.
And I'll just remind you, it's Derby Day, and there's no friends out there, is what I'm thinking. It didn't look like it.
Here's Paul.
That's the beauty about Derby Day.
Here's Piddington. Going down. As we were saying, it is getting physical, and
That's some special skill we've just seen in front of us from Vigili just there with that pick up and turn. Damien is just absolutely out of the top shelf, and he's made, a former A-League player just stand still in admiration of what he's just been able to produce.
here's Shane Paul on his left boot. Goes low. Finlayson. Hodges clears it away again for Hamilton.
I notice Hamilton's starting to drop a little bit deeper now, so there's no space in beyond for Magic, so I think they need to change their game plan up a little bit. Try and play a few 1-2s through the centre of the park and have a shot on goal, even if it's outside the box.
Here's Finlayson. Back to Haynes into the middle. Cleared away by Bertos. Now away towards Shane Paul, who goes down and wins another free kick for Broadmeadow.
So the difficult thing about that, Damien, is that you're exactly right. Olympic are just going to sit in, and they're sitting deeper. But the natural thing that Broadmeadow want to do is push. So all of a sudden, we've got bees to a honeypot in some areas along that transitional third. And that's going to make it really difficult for Broadmeadow to open up some opportunities when it's that tight. So maybe they've got to drag them back out a little bit and then try and get in behind them.
Yeah, I agree 100% there, Chris.
Here's Vigili up and over the top. Danny Ireland again comes out and claims for Hamilton. Inside the final 9 minutes now. Darling Street. Mooney's clearance. Smothered by Piddington. Finlayson. Now it's Shane Paul. Finds Piddington, who this ball goes straight to Leo Bertos. Here's Shane Paul. Bit of miscommunication between Cooper and Bailey, and now Fadcevic. Wide. Dino Fadcevic shoots. And now Bradbury trying to get in there, but Cooper makes the tackle, and Magic fans go up because it's a free kick to Broadmeadow. Can they finish this?
Dino Fad's done tremendous there. Just held his composure and he was unlucky not to score.
It's going to be Peter Haynes. Is it another special moment for Peter Haynes?
I think people would probably like it about another yard away from the goals, I'd say. He's going to have to dip this quite quick, unless he goes for a blast.
Yeah, there's plenty of bodies in there. You've got to be thinking he's got to go over the top.
He's going to have to. Here is Peter Haynes with the free kick, straight to Danny Ireland.
Well, he's found a gap in that plethora of people in there, and he picked it out pretty well. But Ireland looked pretty comfortable.
Oh yeah, Danny Ireland's definitely is worth his paycheck today. It's been tremendous in goal for Olympic.
They don't pay him, do they?
In chicken burgers here, I think.
Chicken burgers, chicken schnitty.
John Grivis and Pat Brown over that far side. Free kick to Magic, and it's going to be Lawrence Fotef going on for Broadmeadow.
They're special, the chicken schnitties too. Damien, you would have had a couple, wouldn't you, in your time?
Yeah, I've had quite a few on my time.
World's best here is Jaden Barber comes from the ground.
Replacement the Broadmeadow Magic team, number 21 Jaden Barber has been replaced by number 18 Lawrence Fotef.
Here's Peter Haynes nodding it on towards Piddington. Piddington heading it back, going down. Still Piddington on the ground.
Peter fancies himself as a goal scorer, so that's why he's pushing forward a bit more, I think.
Yeah, he's pushed right up there, Josh Piddington. Luke Vigili sitting in sort of his centre role now. As here is Vigili. Goes to Peter Haynes. Peter Haynes looking through.
I think Peter Haynes is the key. He's finding a little bit of space in there. He needs to find himself more on the ball so he can slot these strikers in. And just be a bit more composed. I think you just need be a bit more composed on the ball. Try and draw Olympic out, as we spoke before.
Round 6, match of the round here on Bar TV. Broadmeadow and Hamilton here at Darling Street. Hamilton with that 3-1 lead. Simon Mooney scored the first goal for Hamilton this afternoon. Goes down the line and Nick Hartnett grabs it. Here's Griffiths. Peter Haynes now. I think he's sliced that one he has over the sideline.
You know, we've got 5.5 minutes of regulation time, and Pete's really trying to force something, you know, with a ball like that.
Here's Davies. Fotov with the header. Back to Griffiths. It's over the sideline for throw for Hamilton.
I think Olympic will be happy. He's just throwing the ball up the line. Hopefully it goes out. Waste a bit more time. If I was a coach, that's what I'll be doing anyway.
Yeah, and, you know, in the position that they're in right now with 5 minutes to go, let's say, they literally just want to hold the ball as long as they can and stop Hainsey from getting on the ball as much as they can.
Exactly.
And I think if Olympic go on to win this one this afternoon, I'd have to say the turning point was the moment Mick Bolch brought Tom Davies over to Mark James Virgili. That was a huge moment in the game.
And also some of the crucial saves Denny Owen saved to make it 2-0 for Magic early in the game.
And you can't leave out the number of quality tackles that Hodges has put in for Olympic on this game, sitting on a yellow card pretty much for most of it.
Just on this substitution, Kane Goodchild has been immense for Hamilton Olympic today. He's been a real menace for the Olympic Magic defence.
He really has. When you've got someone of the quality of Pittington sitting right there with him, is going to go everywhere, and the amount of ball that he's had, how well he's held up, I totally agree.
Here's James Virgili for Broadmeadow. Back to Haynes. Peter Haynes bending this one right over Danny Ireland. For once, he didn't know where he was, Danny Ireland there. Cale Bradbury can't get his shot on target and over for a goal kick. Sam Parker just going on there for Hamilton Olympic. Played for South Cardiff last year. Sam Parker coming across to Olympic in 2016.
Tell you what, if Olympic do pull this one off this afternoon, a few of them are heading to Snow's Patisserie at the Junction to get in there, celebrate over before their next week's preparation. Wouldn't you think, Damien? Going there for a coffee, relax, bit of cake.
A few lattes, chocolate mug
Now,
cake.
I'm gonna get in trouble from the Bar TV guys for this, because I think Snow's Patisserie's got more of a mention than our major broadcast.
Well, we can mention them, but we're going to sit him right in front of us. We're just a ploy to get a new sponsor. Read between that line.
That's right. Well, there you go. Luke Virgili with the free kick for Broadmeadow. Here's Virgili. Not getting enough on it. And Reece Cooper heads it away.
I noticed Olympic's got 11 players behind the ball now. They're really trying to wind the clock back.
Here's it in. Fajkovic trying to knock it on. Danny Ireland. Didn't know if he did get a kick in the head from John Griffiths, but Ireland with a wry smile, and he throws it out to Daniel Bird. Shane Paul turns away from Bird. Slips over, gets back up. Still going Shane Paul and wins the free kick. Plays it on quickly to Peter Haynes. First touch just let him down on that occasion. And now Virgili. Cutting into the 18, James Virgili. Still Virgili. Turns it over to Reece Cooper, whose clearance wasn't as good as you would have liked. And now Bertos and Cale Bradbury again. Had a good duel this afternoon. Now Bird. Now with Sam Parker away. Goes to Bird. Pittington wins the ball from Bird.
It's just straight strength from Pitto there.
Finlayson goes down and gets the free kick for Broadmeadow. So plenty of fouls flying in here from Hamilton now.
Yeah, Josh Pittington's been very strong at the back for Magic. He's really showing his passion towards this derby game at the moment. He's going forward, he's going back. He really wants a result out of this.
He's played in plenty of them. He knows what they mean.
This is Virgili over the top. Danny Ireland again. It's like a metronome at the back for Hamilton.
Like a what?
Like a metronome at the back for Hamilton. You know those things in music?
Yes.
Here's the ball over the top. My musical knowledge isn't great, but...
I love it, Ben.
Next week, I should mention, we've got another derby up at Rockwell Automation Park, Western up against Maitland. That should be a cracker. I think Gary Fisher will be with me up there for that one, so should be an awesome contest. Last year, Western with a 1-0 win and a 0-0 draw in the other match, so Maitland will be looking to get the job done. They've had a great start to the year already. We'll try and get those scores at the other grounds before we go, but Adamstown were down 1-0 at home to the Jets. That was the only other scoreline we had. All the others were 0-0. Here's Vigili. 3-0 the Jets youth lead Adamstown now, and no scores from the other grounds. Maitland and the Jaffers at 0-0. And Charlestown and Western were unsure. So we tick over now into stoppage time. Hamilton's fantastic record in the last few seasons looks as though it will continue against Broadmeadow.
As we said earlier, Jacob Bailey.
Cooper over the top. Sam Parker, I thought he clipped legs with Josh Piddington, so probably a good decision from the referee. Piddington over the top, but Kyle Hodges sitting back very deep now for Hamilton. Here's Fajkovic. It's been good since he's come on, Dino Fajkovic,
Yeah, he's definitely been dangerous since he's come on. It was a good move by Robert Vigili.
Commentator's cursor as he takes it over the byline, but he has been good before that.
Just back on Jacob Bailey, he's definitely been the quiet achiever of today's game. He's
The
won
Dustland
everything
House
in
man of the
middle
match,
park.
we've got to award that. Are you guys giving it to Jacob Bailey this afternoon?
There's a few in contention. I think Kane Goodchild had a good
Danny
shot.
Ireland.
Reece Cooper has
Reece
been very
Cooper
solid
as well.
in the centre of the park.
Kyle Hodges has been another big one.
Yeah, Kyle Hodges has been outstanding since the first half, where he really was struggling to keep up with the pace of Magic, but since then he's just been wonderful at the back for Olympic.
And also Tommy Davies.
Tom Davies on
Tom
Vigili
Davies,
as
yeah.
well. It's Mooney. Thought he may have injured himself there.
Yeah, and
His
just
ball.
on Mooney when he came on as well, there was an immediate impact on the game. There was a positional change with Bertos.
Here's Carl Bradbury, well blocked again. Hamilton players everywhere.
Yeah, it's a tough decision for man of the match, in my eyes.
Here's Sam Parker. John Griffiths going in and making a good challenge.
I don't think you'd have too much opposition, Damien, if we said Jacob Bailey was about the pick of a man for the match.
Oh, I totally disagree with you, Chris. No, I totally agree with you.
That'd be a
Jacob
first.
Bailey, yeah, he's been like the quietest achiever in the centre of the park. But Olympics had so many good players there today.
They have.
So has Magic. Magic's had some good players as well. But Olympic I feel, have just been slightly on top since they got that equaliser.
A big game too. He's sort of done, the mirror of Jacob Bailey in a lot of ways. They're the sort of guys, you take him out of the team, that's when you realise how much you've lost. He's in everything. Like we said before, he's making the critical runs, he's picking it up, he's not doing anything that people are really going to overly notice, except for continues to tick them over, and it's just like the real glue of the team.
Here's Tom Davies with the throw to Pat Brown.
And also
Down
for me,
the
Josh
corner.
Pennington has been really solid at the back with Kane Goodchild. That's been a great battle today. John Griffiths been solid as well, but Josh Pennington, look at him. He's pushing himself forward. He's going back. He's desperate to get points here today. And he's been immense, I think, for Magic, sorry.
That goal at halftime from Daniel Bird probably really hurt Broadmeadow. That was a big moment in the game. Peter Haynes is pretty even first half, and to get that lead going into halftime sort of calmed down all the Hamilton Olympic fans.
Josh Pennington pushed forward. He's desperate for goals here.
Here's Bradbury trying to get around Leo Bertos, who has done a great job on Kyle Bradbury this afternoon.
Hasn't he ever?
You look at Broadmeadow's two leading scorers, Vigili and Bradbury, and they've done an awesome job. And that is full time here at Darling Street. 6 games unbeaten now for Hamilton against Broadmeadow, and they continue that dominance that they have in the derby. Olympic with a 3-1 win. Our Dustland House man of the match going to Jacob Bailey. But Chris, sum it up for us this afternoon. Magic came out of the blocks fast, and Olympic just pulled them back.
Yeah, they certainly did. Magic appeared to have a clear intention to get in behind Olympic's defence, and they did that. Vigili up high on the right that was the case, and Vultures made a change that was critical. had an injury. On comes Mooney. He makes a substitutional change with Bertos. I think those points, a couple there, Damien, were key. And then they just keep going away. You're right, Ben, at half-time, that goal that goes in by Bird at half-time, that kills you as an opposition coach. They really hurt. And then the game come back out from Olympic in the second half was more of the same. Tough midfield battle, but I think overall Olympic deserved to win that, and they did it well, and they're on top of the ladder, and today we see why.
Oh, I totally agree with you, Chris. Like I said at the start of the call, I thought Olympic were slightly flat for the first 5 and 10 minutes. Magic put a lot of pressure on them, got in behind them a few times, but some crucial saves by Danny Ireland, but also, like you mentioned about Mick Bolts, the swap, the move Tommy Smart to Virgili to sort of cancel him out a little bit in the first half.
He really did look like he was going to take the game into his own hands, and pretty much all of it. It was all down his side. Everything was about him. The ball was at his feet all of the time, and he looked like he was going to score 3 or 4. As in the first 10 minutes, the way the game is shaping up, he'd come away with 3 or 4 today. But you're right, Bolch has made a really smart decision in the choices he's made.
Oh, and totally agree. And like last 15, 20 minutes, Olympic sort of came into their own. They found space in midfield, put more pressure on Magic, and yet, like you said, the goal just before half time, a great finish by Bird, and great lead-up play by, was it Reece Cooper? Yeah. And he was very unlucky not to get man of the match today, Reece Cooper. I thought he was tremendous. And same with Kyle Hodges.
Yeah, our Dustin House man of the match, Chris and Damien going with Jacob Bailey this afternoon, outstanding in the middle of the park. Now, those other scores at the other grounds, Maitland and Lambton, our last score was 0-0. 3-1 here and 3-0 to the Jets youth over Adamstown at Adamstown Oval. And Charlestown and Western, we weren't sure what the score was. We had 0-0, but we'll have to confirm that one a little bit later. But full time here at Darling Street, it was Hamilton Olympic 3, Broadmeadow Magic 1.